for folks who don't know you, where are you from and how long you been tattooing?
I'm from Oakville, which is just outside Toronto, up in Canada. I've been tattooing for 13 years now, been in the business for 20. I started out working for Crazy Ace, who's passed away now, but he was quite the legend. So I was working for him. My dad was working for him. My dad's also a tattooer. So originally when I was, yeah.
So you're second generation tattooer.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in a shop? You know, a lot of guys don't have that kind of experience.
Yeah, it was freaking great, man. Especially to see some of the people that were in that shop at the time where they're at now is ridiculous. Wow. Like back then, Steve Moore, Craig Driscoll, and Kurt Wioscombe were all at the shop at the same time. Right. It was totally ridiculous. Those guys are like, you know, some of the best in this country now. Probably, you know, easily the best in the country. So nice. It was pretty exciting.
So how old were you when you did your first tattoo?
I was probably, I might have been around 20, 22 maybe.
Wow, I would think it would be way earlier just because you're around it all the time. I'm surprised someone didn't put a machine in your hand and say, here.
Yeah, it was kind of hinted at, but I don't know. I was busy being a kid playing in punk rock bands and shit like that, where I was at the shop initially as a needle maker. I made tattoo needles for the whole Way Cool Tattoos chain.
No shit.
So I did that for years. I have put in my needle making time. Holy shit. I've made fucking tens of thousands of needles probably. Wow. So at the time I was like, you know, I was busy doing my punk rock thing and I wasn't interested in like living, breathing, sleeping, tattooing like I was watching everybody else do, like when I was 17, 18. So I kind of stayed away from it for a little bit. And even having all those guys around the shop, that actually kind of discouraged me from tattooing for a bit because like I've been drawing my whole life, but not super serious about it. And so I'm like this 18-year-old kid and watching what these guys were doing. I was like, holy fuck, man, I could never do what these guys are doing. Like, there's no way. Even back then, like in their, you know, I think they were just finished apprenticing and stuff. Steve Moore and Craig Driscoll, like they were killing it, man. Their artwork was just insane. So I thought that's what you had to be to be a tattooer, was to be as good as those guys. So it kind of discouraged me for, you know, a little bit. I was like, oh, maybe I don't, like, maybe that's not, I can't do that stuff. But after a few years, I was like, yeah, no, I'm sure I could get by just doing the flash and stuff. I could do some flash off the walls, no problem. So eventually I decided, like, I don't want to make needles forever. Maybe I'll start to tattoo. And, yeah.
So we got a question from some of the folks that are watching. It says, in the video, it looked like you did a medium coverage of dots over the whole tattoo and then went back and concentrated the dots more to darken things up. Is that something that you normally do?
Depending on it depends what it is. Some things I'll do like that. Sometimes I'll just do the dark to light gradations as I go. Depends on the piece and what's going to happen with it. It varies a lot. Yeah.
So what led you to dot work?
I was going over to England a lot early in my career, and I started working had a regular guest spot at Bugs' shop, Evil from the Needle, and so I worked with a guy there named Thomas. He calls himself Thomas now, and he was sort of getting it off of Zed Lahead. So that's basically where that kind of style originated, was with Zed Lahead in London, England. So working there, I was exposed to it, and at that time I was still like a very new tattooer, so I was trying to do every style, everything I came across. I was trying to like at least be competent in it, just so I could call myself a tattooer, you know. Right. Try and handle anything that comes in the door type of thing. But that style wasn't even existed over here. So, but it was really big in Europe and Italy and Spain, all these places. A lot of people were getting Polynesian and stuff like that. So I wasn't exposed to it till I went there. But once I saw it, it was, I don't know, I was just so drawn into it. As soon as I did like a couple pieces, I was like, man, I love this. I just got sucked right into it. Mm-hmm. is Cory Ferguson, and I love doing tattoos. My dad is a tattoo artist, so I guess you could say it's in my blood. I've been tattooing full-time since May of 2000, but I've been working in the industry since '93. I started working at the tattoo shop while I was still in high school, and I never left. My true passion is style, best summed up as Blackwork. What I do is a mixture of geometry, repetitive patterns, dot work, and Polynesian influence tribal. Generally, my work's not about deep, meaningful storytelling. My focus is on the visual. I'm not here to tug at your heartstrings, I'm trying to mess with your eyes. One of the best compliments I've ever gotten about a tattoo was when someone said that they actually got dizzy looking at it. Now that to me is a successful tattoo. It doesn't all have to be dizzying, I'm just trying to make them flattering to the body with a nice flow and a striking image that can be appreciated from a distance as well as up close. Even after 20 years in the business, I still feel like I'm just getting started.
Hey, how's it going? We're back. So that was Cory Ferguson's video that he sent us. We try to show everybody stuff that they sent us.